So Fortinet's share price is down over 20%. So in this video, I'll let you know what happened, and I'll let you know if this is a stock I plan to buy, hold, or sell. If you don't know who I am, my name is Tepper, and I'm the founder and CEO of Tykr. If you're new to investing or want to get better at investing, rest assured you're in the right place. Here at Tykr, we help people buy and sell stocks with confidence. All right, first we're going to take a look at the latest news, then we're going to take a look at the ratings in Tykr, then I'll let you know what I plan on doing with the stock. So why is this share price down over 20%? Well, to be honest with you, there's not a whole lot wrong with the business. This comes down to poor language in earnings reports. We're going to dive into that right now. So one of the comments made in their earnings report that caused a bit of confusion or was taken the wrong way was they said their upgrade cycle for firewalls is about 40 to 50% complete. What in the world does that mean? So here we go. What this means is the upgrade cycle for planned releases of new versions is 40 to 50% complete. They should have phrased it like that. Now, when you say something like upgrade cycle, makes it feel like the maximum amount of customers they can take on is really at 40 to 50%. Still, that number could mean good or bad. This is a lesson that leaders in your earnings reports, you need to keep your language as simple as possible. And they did not do that. Now, I like Fortinet, but I see this from time to time where the people in those earnings reports, sometimes it's your CEO, sometimes the CFO will speak up, sometimes there's other people in the C-suite, and they'll use complex language. We all know you're smart. You don't have to try to sound smart. So keep things simple. So there was that one comment. The other comment, and this just drives me nuts, which is weak guidance. So what does guidance mean? I'll tell you what it's not. Guidance is not what happened. It's not factual, like actual results of what happened. Guidance is what they feel will happen in the future, what they believe will happen. I highly recommend, and there should be like earnings reports coaches out there. I mean, there's life coaches and business coaches and all that kind of good stuff. There should literally be coaches out there that coach C-level executives on how to present your earnings reports. And one of the no-go things is don't talk about guidance. We don't want to hear it. It's not factual. It's not what happened. It's what we feel will happen. So they're saying that the company could be a little slow in the next quarter or two. What are you doing? Like, don't even say that. I recommend this. If you want to talk about something in the future, say something like, hey, we have some potential partnerships. And if you can't say companies, just say, hey, with Fortune 500 or Fortune 100 companies, or we are about to sign a large Fortune 500 customer or Fortune 100. I can't say who, but it's about 90% complete. You know, stuff like that is exciting. But if you preface and say, hey, this is pending, it's not factual information, fine. But again, it's territory. Like if I were running a public company, I would not talk about guidance into the future. I'd say, here are the facts. Here's what we achieved last quarter. Moving on. So overall, those are the two reasons why the share price has fallen off a cliff. So really nothing has happened in the business. Now, there's other news out there from analysts. I appreciate this. They're ignoring the comments here and they're looking right at the financials. They're like, hey, you guys are like selling off here, but there's nothing wrong with the business. The financials are still really good. So on that note, let's take a look at Tykr and get a closer look at what's going on with Fortinet. All right, so we're going to use the 7 I've talked about. This is a process we use to really determine if a stock is a good stock or a bad stock. Before we dive in, if you're curious, I try to always mention this, which is go to Tykr.com, go to education, and then down to calculations. Our calculations are open source for personal use. We do have a few patents on some of these processes now, but we encourage people, if you're math nerds like myself, go ahead, drop some of the calculus equations into Excel, play with them on your own. But it really, what we're trying to do here is just, create transparency and increase trust with Tykr. So let's go ahead. We're going to walk through the 7 and see what we're dealing with here. So stocks in Tykr are either on sale, watch, or overpriced. That's green, gray, or red. The system is really inspired by traffic light. Just try to make it easier for people to understand. Only about 15% of stocks in the stock market make it to on sale. It's very difficult to do. So looking at Tykr, you can see that Fortinet is on sale. In order to get to on sale, you need a score, that's in the hexagon here, you need a score equal or greater than 50, and you need a margin of safety equal or greater than 50%. So if you got 50 and 50 on both, then it's on sale. If it's just one, it's watch. And of course, if you miss 50 on both, then it's overpriced. And that's where most stocks sit. They don't have strong financials. So we can see your on sale stock score is 72 and the margin of safety is 75%. Share price, look at this, 74, and the upside potential, 302. That's huge. All right, so we're checking all the boxes so far in the 7. We get to the middle. This is what we call the 4M confidence booster. I'll show you what this looks like. We're not going to go through the thing right now, but you can see the 4 M's. Thanks to Warren Buffett, he really guided us in this direction and look at more than just the numbers. We want to understand the business. And then thank you to Phil Town, who really coined the phrase, the 4 M's. We went a step further. We actually put a patent on this. So with the math, that's completed for us. That's that summary, score, margin of safety. Then you have the meaning. That's how the business makes money and how scalable the revenue streams are. You want businesses that you can increase revenue a lot faster than liabilities. Your biggest liability in a business would be payroll. So you want to see that revenue just go through the roof, and at the same time, you can control your expenditures. All right, then you got the moat. That's how it compares to other businesses in the same sector and industry. And then you have the management. That's the track record of the CEO. All right, so in this case, you can see here the scores are 80 to 100, high confidence, 60 to 79 is moderate, and 59 or lower. That's a pretty weak business overall. So we're going to close this. We're averaging 83. So we're checking that box as well, looking really good. All right, then scroll down. Let's take a look at the 5-year returns. So we like stocks that return 80% over 5 years. 80% is about the average of the S&P 500 over 5 years. The reason is we like 5 years is we don't want to just invest in businesses that beat the market for 1 year, but 5 years is a nice round number. All right, so in this case, we're seeing 194, well over doubling returns on the market. So that's outstanding. Let's keep going. Moving over to the financials tab, the number one most important line on the financial statements would be EPS, earnings per share. And we can see here, looks like a few quarters back, they peaked at the highest at about 71 cents, then 69, then 56, then back up to 57. Still looking pretty good. If you go back in time a little bit, it's better than a lot of quarters, but it's not at all-time highs. It's not the end of the world, but the sell-off was just ridiculous. It's not because of the financials. Again, it's because of comments made in the earnings report. All right, so EPS, we're not going to get points here because we want to see 3 quarters in a row, so that's okay. But let's keep going to the last point here, which is the earnings calendar. And we want to see this stock beat its estimate. You have your estimate and you have your reported. And we can see your Fortinet did beat the estimate by 8.4%. I'm just curious here. I'm scrolling back in time to see when their last miss was, going back in time. All right. This is almost ridiculous. Look at this. It was 2016. So 9 years ago is when they had their last miss, which was by 0.5%. So this stock here has been very consistent for investors. And this is going to lead up right to what are my comments on this stock. Going back to the Tykr rating tab, let's go to the 3-month just to get a little zoom in on what we're dealing with here with the share price. Look at this. This right here, this is not because there's anything wrong with the business. Again, this is really driven by comments in that earnings report. And this is why what I like to do with Tykr is I'll immediately come in here, I'll go to news, I'll see what people are talking about. And that was really general consensus, is a few comments made in the earnings report to drive the share price down. This, to me, is a stockpiling event. I hold Fortinet in my portfolio, which means I'm going to buy a little more. This is a great opportunity. Stupid comments made. We're going to go ahead, take advantage of that. Hopefully leadership learns their lesson. Let's not talk about or use complex language, and let's not give weak guidance or weak projections. Talk about what really happened in the business and call it a day. Just move on. So there you go. This is a stock I plan to buy more of. All right. I hope this video was helpful. If you are interested in buying and selling stocks on your own with confidence and you want to see my portfolio, you can join Tykr for free. Of course, don't buy and sell stocks based solely on what you hear. Only buy and sell stocks that align with your own personal financial goals. Thanks for checking out this video. We'll see you in the next one. Bye for now.